Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum class. Me, Dr. Amara, your course instructor, course of statistical inference from the Institute of Southern Punjab, Multan. And today our lecture is lecture number 5 on the statistical inference first course. And we are going through the point estimation properties, and today we are able to see its last property, and which is the sufficient statistic. And the topics that are relevant to the sufficient statistic are the sufficient statistic. We will define it and we'll see some examples and solve some examples relating to the sufficient statistic. Then we will go through the minimal sufficient statistic concept, and then the sufficient statistic in exponential family. As we have done with the previous properties, unbiasedness and the consistency and the efficiency, we also go through with the complete sufficient statistic and see what is complete and sufficient statistic. And we have a very popular and very useful and most recommended theorem, Rao-Blackwell theorem, for the concept of sufficient statistic. So inshallah, we will go through these topics in our lecture number 5. Coming to the topic in statistic is sufficient with respect to a statistical model and its associated unknown parameters if no other statistic can be calculated from the same sample, provides any additional information as to the value of the parameter. In particular, a statistic is sufficient for a family of probability distribution if the sample from which it is calculated gives no additional information than the statistic, as to which of those probability distributions is the sampling distribution. And also a related concept is that of linear sufficiency, which is weaker than sufficiency, but can be applied in some cases where there is no sufficient statistic, although it is restricted to linear estimators. Then the concept of linear sufficiency is due to the Sir Fisher. Sir Fisher stated that and introduced the concept of sufficiency had fallen out of favor in descriptive statistics because of the strong dependency on an assumption of the distributional form. And if we see that what is meant by a sufficient estimator, then we can also easily find out that an estimator of a parameter theta, which gives as much information about a theta is possible from the sample at hand, is called a sufficient estimator. Thus, sufficiency refers to how well an estimator utilizes the information in the sample relative to the population postulated statistical model. So, question also arises, how do we can calculate sufficient statistic? So the mathematical definition is as follows: a statistic T, which is also you can show displayed on the screen. A statistic T, G of maximum of x1, x2 up to xn is a sufficient statistic if for each T, the conditional distribution of x1, x2 up to xn given T is equal to T and theta does not depend on theta. So also, as we have seen that the consistent estimators are also unbiased, the sufficient then the sufficient estimator must also be unbiased. So an estimator of the form U is equal to HT of a complete and sufficient statistic T is the unique unbiased estimator based on T of its expectation. Hence, if T is complete and sufficient, U is equal to H of T is the minimum variance unbiased. an estimator of its expectation. What are sufficient statistics and why it is useful? So if we find out its uses and we want to see its advantages or its practical implementation, then we can say that sufficient statistic or sufficient estimator are very useful because along with other condition, unbiasedness and completeness, it helps us to identify estimators that have the smallest variances. And a statistician is always after the unbiased estimators, and the estimators, those have the smallest variances. So initiative idea is that for purpose of estimating the parameter, the sufficient statistic contains all the relevant information. So that's why sometimes we say the estimators are sufficient, which can carry maximum information about the parameter. And is the sufficient estimator are consistent? Because we now talking about that the sufficient estimators must be unbiased. So an estimator theta n is consistent if it converges to theta in a suitable sense as n tends to infinity. An estimator theta for theta is sufficient if it contains all the information that we can exert from the random sample to estimate theta until we know have been pulling our estimators out of the air. So this is all about our today's topic, and our lecture will be inshallah on 14th Sunday. So this was the explanation and the brief description and about the definition of sufficient estimators. Here is also, you can see sufficient estimator or sufficient statistic is defined. We will have a theorem also relating to the sufficient estimation or sufficient estimators, and that is called factorization theorem. That theorem or result has the two parts. So we will see and discuss and prove mathematically these two parts and the theorem, factorization theorem also inshallah in the class. Now, coming back to the sufficient statistic, as the we have discussed in minimum variance unbiased estimators and minimum variance unbiased consistent estimators. Also, we have seen the minimum variance unbiased estimator idea in the consistency. So the sufficient statistic must be minimal also. So for the minimal sufficient statistic, we have another theorem and particular concept about the minimal sufficient statistic, and that is that suppose that the family of density f of f naught of x up till fk of x all have common support, then the statistic t of x f1 x1 f2 naught by x up till so on fk by x fk of x over f naught of x is minimal sufficient for the family of f naught x up till fk x. If f is a family of densities with common support, then function of x belonging to f and t of x is sufficient for f, then tx is a minimal sufficient for f, and this is the idea behind the minimal sufficient statistic. So the sufficient statistic for theta is a statistic that captures all the information about theta contained in the sample. Formally, we have the definition of statistic after this, the minimal sufficient statistic. A statistic Tx is sufficient for theta if the conditional distribution of x given T of x equal to T of x does not depend on theta. And sufficient statistic also have the exponential class. So for the exponential class, it is integrated and having random variables from x1 till xn. So its distribution will be pi I varies from 1 till n h of xi into e of e power n theta, sum of I varies from 1 till n t of xi minus n biasness of theta, also exponential. So T of xn is equal to sum of T of x is a sufficient statistic according to the factorization theorem. So for to see the concept of sufficient statistic in the exponential family, we can and we will see it occur in the normal distribution, in the binomial distribution, and in the Poisson distribution. As we already picking one discrete distribution and one continuous distribution to satisfy and prove our results in the example or in the mathematical form. Then there is a concept of complete sufficient statistic, and the complete sufficient statistic is that Y is a complete and sufficient statistic if theta is a sufficient statistic for theta and the family of G of Y theta, theta belonging to sample space, where G of Y theta is the PDF of Y is complete. So Y is a complete, a statistic is a complete statistic if its distribution is complete, and Y is a sufficient statistic for theta, and U of Y is an arbitrary function of Y, and expected of U of Y is 0 for all theta belonging to sample space, implies is that mu of Y is equal to 0 for all possible Y is equal to Y. So it means that sufficient statistic always exists under middle conditions. A minimal sufficient statistic does always exist. Is so sufficient, we can say, are not unique. Anyone to one transformation of a sufficient statistic is again a sufficient statistic. So complete and sufficient statistic concept is like this, that we integrate our exponential distribution and exponential family, and an estimator of A, the sufficient statistic is given, is complete if the one function G for which it is whole can be sufficient. Suppose, however, that there exists a second function S for which expected of H is equal to A, then it would also follow that with T is equal to the sum of X of N, then expected of T minus HT is equal to A minus A is equal to 0, or it means that it is unbiased and will follow T is a where T is a normally distributed with N A mean and N sigma square variances. Then we take their derivative, we will integrate them on the limits minus infinity till plus infinity, and we get T V of T, and where T is T by N, and we get their first derivative, and so on. This way we can get the result that is called the independently identically distributed values are 0. So sufficient statistic is complete. Sufficient statistic basic concept, if we see, is that a statistic is the result of applying a function to a set of data over observations, and that a single statistic is a single function of the observation, say T of X, and it is called a sufficient statistic of the PDF. So we have also insufficient statistic Neyman-Fisher factorization theorem, and inshallah we will prove it. The concept behind the Neyman-Fisher factorization theorem is that a sufficient statistic for theta with the PDF can be factorized. Sufficient statistic must be minimum variance unbiased estimator. So there are many definitions for the completeness of a statistic. One that is easy for us to use in the context of estimation is follows: a statistic is called complete if and only if one function of it yields an unbiased estimator of theta, and this is generally difficult to check but is easy in conceptual. So in statistic, the statistic is sufficient with respect to a statistical model and is associated unknown parameter if no other statistic can be calculated from the same sample provides any additional information as to the value of the parameter. So sufficient statistic is a complete sufficient statistic have a minimum variance and biased estimator. And if we can see this flow chart can be describing well that Neyman-Fisher factorization theorem takes us to the concept of completeness, and the completeness concept takes us to the unbiased estimator, and the unbiased estimators are minimum variance and biased estimators. And the Rao-Blackwell theorem or Lehmann-Schaffer's theorem is here to help us to find out the sufficient statistic. And we will also prove the results of Rao-Blackwell Lehmann-Schaffer's theorem, inshallah, and the remarks about the Rao-Blackwell Lehman's theorem, Schaffer's theorem is that given an estimator F that is not a sufficient statistic, there exists a better estimator if variance is concerned. So we can say that sufficient estimator for the parameter of the any distribution can be easily find out with the help of factorization theorem or with the help of Rao-Blackwell Lehmann-Schaffer's theorem. And in the end, the conditional expectation averages out or removes non-informative concepts in the original estimators. We can view this as a filter that eliminates unnecessary components of the data. So this flow chart or this diagram also explains well the Rao-Blackwell Lehmann-Schaffer's theorem, and it is this flow chart is provided by the Rao-Blackwell with the proof of the theorem. So variances are as much as low, we are going and we are getting the good point estimators with the low variances and try to find out the unbiased estimators which have low variances, which have small sample sizes, and which can use the as much as information possible, as well as possible information about the population parameters, and then those parameters point estimators are the best point estimators. So another flow chart that is representing us the sufficient statistics are minimum variance and biased estimators, and there is a concept of unbiasedness and completeness, and this also explaining about the Rao-Blackwell theorems concepts. So Allah Hafiz, and inshallah this information will be very helpful for you to revise and understand the concept of the sufficient statistic. And after watching this video, when you will be in the class, you will find the concepts and the topics and the theorems and their proof must be more easy and clear to you. So inshallah, see you on Sunday, and till then, Allah Hafiz. God bless us all. Or shukr alhamdulillah. Allah Hafiz.